Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Chakra, the amazing functional anatomy. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Divyank is a reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Chakra means wheel, whirl, or wall, or something which twines around. Chakra is a vibrating nerve power center. It's attached to the grey matter of the spinal cord, number one. It is associated with the autonomic nervous system, ganglia as well as plexuses. It is also associated with one of the 10 chakras which are associated with endocrine glands. Incidentally, a chakra resembles a datura flower which is called Solanaceae species of flowers, which is just like a tubal things going up. It's almost like a whirling pool, and in this particular picture you can see the flower going up. In the center I have shown how it revolves clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. Rotations clockwise for producing energy and anti-clockwise for reducing energy. This clockwise and anti-clockwise movement is going all the time alternatively to make sure that we are perfectly in equilibrium. Our alternate movement leads to equilibrium or homeostasis. Equilibrium is essential for ideal homeostasis. An ideal pattern represents Divyank. As you can see, the length and breadth is in Divyank ratio or Divyank rectangle, or you can see the solar system picture of Divyank rectangle, Divyank ratio, as well as whirlpool, as well as spiral galaxy. They all represent the same thing, macrocosmic, microcosmic. And this is the best example I could give as far as shape, size, and functions, anatomy or functions or functional anatomy is concerned. I'm more than happy I've been able to see and make a new representation which represents my own experience how these chakras rotate. From that angle, I think this is pretty good graphic presentation of chakras. Now let's go to the next stage. In this particular picture, you can see very clearly in that same picture of datura flower, shape is same, whirlpool going like that, and chakras have got front as well as back chakras. Front chakras are in front of the body and back chakras in the back side of the body. As we know, there are 10 major chakras: Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Nabhi and Manipura, Usha, Anhata, Vishuddhi, Agnya, Vigyan, Pragyan and Sahasrara. Now, the back chakras, let's start with posterior side. They are closely associated with ascending tracts which carry the sensory information from the external world to the brain step by step. So energy moves up, or Kundalini moves along the back chakras, back sides of sensory should one by one go up. And after reaching Sahasrara, it comes down for circulation through front chakras. And front chakras are in the same order: Sahasrara, Pragyan, Vigyan, Agnya, Vishuddhi, Anhata, Usha, Manipura, Swadhisthana and Mooladhara. This rotation from Mooladhara to Sahasrara and Sahasrara back to Mooladhara through the posterior chakras and then to the posterior chakras, very clear. So at the same time, we can say all the chakras are associated with gray matter in the spinal cord as well as the nuclei in the brain. Gray matter, the sensory backside come to the gray matter, which is central part, which can also be called Chandran Nadi, and backside is Suryan Nadi with respect to descending. Back is ascending and front is descending tracts. So that way science and spirituality are coming close to show there is a connection of chakras, nadis and kundalini within the physical body. They are not alien to it. So as a medical doctor, as a qualified neuroscientist, my intention is to show that this particular science has lot of relevance in our spiritual journey. If we can experience that, we can be in tune with universal consciousness. There is no doubt, and that's how I've been able to do and recognize, conceive, and reveal Devyank for the first time in this mind, with which the entire macrocosmic and microcosmic anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology could be explained without any issue at all, and with the impeccable wisdom. That way I feel this particular journey and these experiences, which are very different from what people have been talking about. I am rewriting the entire thing in the light of my own experience with the evidence which cannot be denied. And I do believe ancient Indian wisdom or other wisdom have given us, and with the time, with the improvement, science should go to the next stage, not stay back and old and go on repeating the same thing without improvising. And I think I am happy that I am able to add new value in the light of new experiences to the best of my knowledge and be happy with it. Next, go to next. Now, as I have told you, there are 10 major chakras. And also, I have spoken about each chakra. There are three basic qualities. Number one, they are associated with endocrine glands of particular nature. Then they are associated with particular autonomic ganglia or plexuses. They are also associated with different planets or heavenly bodies of our solar system is one, and then they also have certain amount of petals. And these four aspects I have covered in almost all the last 10-12 videos center only on that. Number of petals, the planet, endocrine gland, autonomic nervous system. Now let's bring all the things in that one, just emphasize on that how closely is macrocosmic with microcosmic and how beautiful is the science behind it, and how we can see divine mathematics also in the same representation. Now, Mooladhara is closely associated with Earth as well as Moon conjunction. Number of petals are 4. Endocrine glands are in the perineum, and they are also associated with 4 fused coccyx bones and also related with ganglion impar. What is very interesting in this particular thing I have shown, the diameter of moon is designed in such a way the distance between Earth and Moon is equivalent to 108 times the diameter of Moon itself. That means between Earth and Moon, 108 moons can fit in. And no wonder ancient Indian wisdom emphasizes on 108 number as a mystic number, a divine number. That's the reason even a Mantra Shastra rosary has got 108 beats for count. So it's recommended is 100. And incidentally, 108 is also square of 10.34419, which is a Devyank number. Is it surprising, or it literally shows everything is designed with Devyank? Anyway, now let's go to the next one. Swadhisthana chakra has got 6 petals, and its association is Venus and closely related with reproductive organs and endocrine glands, and also sacral parasympathetic system and its associated sympathetic system. So again, we can see the correlation, how beautiful it is. Nabhi or Manipura chakra is associated with adrenal gland and its petals are 10, associated with the lumbar vertebrae, and as far as planet is concerned, it is Mercury. Interesting. Mercury, adrenal gland, and autonomic nervous system associated with adrenal gland are lower or inferior mesenteric ganglion. So that way also you can, for detailed information, you can look into the earlier video on Nabhi and Manipura. So you can see 4, 6 and 10 petals also are in Devyank sequence only. Usha chakra has not been mentioned in the ancient, but I have brought it because it represents the sun rays, which is very powerful, and everybody knows that sun is very powerful, but effect of sun rays which leave rays effect on the human consciousness and life on earth is tremendous, and this center also plays with it, and it is associated with the lower 6 thoracic vertebrae, and number of petals is 12, and endocrine gland is pancreas, particular beta cells and alpha cells which maintain insulin and glucose balance to give perfect homeostasis of 111 milligram per 100 ml of blood. As I've said, it's not mentioned in Chakra Nirupana. This is my additional 7 plus 3 to 10. This is one of those 3 additional chakras which I'm talking about. Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, is associated with the sun, and the petals are 12. That means distance, I've already explained that, I need not go into detail, but the conjunction of sun, earth and moon takes place here too. In Mooladhara also you have sun, earth and moon, and here also you have. And interesting, 108 earth can fit on the surface of the sun, not between that. It's not the distance between that, but diameter of sun is 108 times the diameter of earth. Very interesting. All these coincidences are divine plans, and this is something which I am very happy to bring forth. Now, Vishuddhi chakra with the throat, which is thyroid gland as well as parathyroid gland, and the planet here is Mars, and you have 16 cervical nerves, and there are 16 petals of this, and different hormones which arise from these endocrine glands are also been explained, like thyroxine and parathyroid hormone, and they help in maintaining serum calcium phosphate homeostasis. This also which purifying the and other thing. There's a lot of detailed information I've given about Vishuddhi chakra under Vishuddhi. Please go back and see. And I'm just trying to emphasize only on 3: endocrine gland, autonomic nervous system, planet, and the number of petals. Ajna chakra, as you say, is associated with hypothalamus, portal vein, and then pituitary gland, and associated with the number of stimulating hormones. Anterior has a stimulating hormones are growth hormone, prolactin, follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, which further go and influence other endocrine glands to produce the hormones which play a very important role in normal functions of the body. So, quote unquote, is associated with anterior and posterior pituitary, and also brainstem, and number of petals in Satchakra Nirupana about Ajna is only 2, but according to Akhand Vidyashram, it should be 28, and its close association is the asteroid belt. And it's also associated with the ascending activating reticular system, and also associated with rising consciousness or Udhana Purana, which actually starts from Vishuddhi, go to Ajna, then Vigyan, Pragyan, and then Sahasrara to high. For spiritual evolution, real journey starts from heart to Vishuddhi and thereafter. So that way, this center plays very important role. Vigyan chakra, as you say, is associated with hypothalamus, which is autonomic head center of endocrine gland as well as autonomic nervous system. And it is responsible for releasing hormones which play an important role in other hormones from anterior pituitary particularly, and then other endocrine glands. And number of petals, does not find place in Sachakra Nirupana. So their question of petal there does not arise. But according to Akhand Vidyashram, number of petals are 52 and is closely associated with Jupiter. The distance of Jupiter divided by 15 is equivalent to 52. I have already explained in the last video. And I said no mention in Sachakra Nirupana. It is associated with posterior hypothalamus is with the sympathetic system. Anterior hypothalamus controls the parasympathetic actions. Why? That also I have explained quite well. And this is also associated with rising consciousness or Udana Prana. So, Pragyan chakra, which is associated with pineal gland, which is endocrine gland, it produces melatonin, and melatonin has a lot of effect in darkness, responsible for circadian rhythm, sleep, wakefulness, and also what reproductive cycle also. And in the animals who live in Antarctica, which can see the light only for a short time, in them you find this activity more during rest of the period to maintain circadian, and reproductive harvesting is primarily during sunrise. So that is also quite interesting, and it's associated with planet Saturn, and the number of petals is 96, and that also explains how 96 was calculated and does not find place in Sachakra Nirupana. It's a part of the central autonomic network, which is sympathetic, the cervical ganglion, and they come from that and go and supply the pineal gland, and stimulation of sympathetic system is responsible for releasing melatonin or other hormones which could be there from there. I have also shown that ancient talked about Nagamani, a third of intuition, enlightenment, associated with pineal gland, and about this is also pineal gland has got neuron cells which are like photoreceptors. So when there is internalization of consciousness into the ventricles of the brain, and pineal gland is on the backside of that. When consciousness internalizes completely into ventricles, that light of that soul consciousness can be seen by pineal gland, and many of the spiritual people, including me, have seen the beauty of that. Ultraviolet light is unforgettable, and that is what could be called enlightenment. But to me, enlightenment is perfect education, knowledge, and be in tune with universal consciousness. From that, I think my journey has been quite significant to reveal these things. I'm doing my job, but now it's up to other people to take this theoretical knowledge and build on it to have a personal experience and then confirm it and move on. Sahasrara Chakra is the 10th. Number of petals is the, and it is associated with full moon, sun, and information about Satchakra Nirupana is this which I have given. But association of Sahasrara Chakra is with Kuiper belt, which is another belt like asteroid belt beyond the major planets of the solar system. So that way the distance also and number of petals also makes quite a lot. For detailed information, you can go back to previous thing to realize how beautiful is the divine nature and how the distance has been designed so well. So there is a harmony in the universe primarily because everything is systematically beautifully done. If you focus any on this particular chakra, you can see the rotation there. As I've told you, all these chakras They rotate clockwise. If you focus right in the center of the chakra, Sahasrara chakra, right there, you can see that center 5 petals are rotating alternatively. And once you are able to see that, you see the real beauty of chakras rotation you can see in this particular picture. I am glad with the help of the voice of silence, I have been able to bring that as a graphic presentation in a totally inanimate and mathematical formula of Divyank. So that way I feel blessed. Last, you can see all the 10 chakras in the middle. You can also see the Ida and Pingala nadis. You can see Sushmana. You can see Vani nadi. You can also see Surya nadi, Chandra nadi, as well as Brahma nadi. And you can right on top, below the Sahasrara chakra, you can see the light of soul, which is closely associated with Pragyan chakra or pineal gland, and that is ventricles. So that way now everything is slowly and steadily coming to accumulation, and then say this is what ancient Indian wisdom in the light of modern sciences, so that we have perfect knowledge for students from school, college to the university, and there is no confusion whatsoever. My objective is to bring perfect anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology so that everybody can be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy, and we have a uniform standard education throughout the world. No confusion whatsoever. Whatever we learn, there should not be need to unlearn and relearn and move on. We should be able to apply that impeccable wisdom in day-to-day life to be perfectly physically healthy, emotionally stable, mentally and spiritually enlightened. And with that, let me say thank you very much. It has been a beautiful sharing my experience with mathematical design and this graphic presentation. I feel blessed. So thank you very much. Thank you.